right, we are nearing the end. Episode 199. We were talking this morning. I'm like, oh, it's the 200th episode, and I went back and I counted, and I'm like, nope, it's 199.
Yeah.
199 episodes, people. So look forward to next week's 200th that we're going to record.
That'll be
And
fun.
we got some really good ideas what to do for our 200th episode. And I don't know. Skip's talking about reaction video to our original podcast episode. I think it was problems we don't have anymore or something like that was episode number 1.
Oh yeah.
We haven't done one of those episodes in a while. And,
Yeah. Oh yeah. We used to come around to that one every so often.
Yeah, like things like remember when you had to use that to straighten the pins on your connectors?
Yep.
The troubleshooting parallel cords and things that you just don't have to deal with anymore. All these new kids, they don't know the problems of having to find
It's all digital now.
that special cable so you could work on the Cisco routers that everybody coveted.
That was really funny because we lived, we're IT guys, we're doing digital work, but there was always an analog component somewhere. That pin that's carrying stuff. It was an interesting balance between the new and the old.
Yeah. And so today we're for the last one, it's like summer break just started, and it kind of signifies a shift in mentality. You can almost feel it in an office space. Everybody's doing the last 2 weeks, everybody's been really busy with end of the year concerts. If you don't have a family or kids that you're tracking, there's still so much going on. Like your coworkers are missing. They're a little stressed out because they're running around all the time. They have no downtime. And then you come up to this, all of a sudden, this cutoff, and all of a sudden everything's free. And so for us, I'll be camping the first week of June. So, and then we have our final thing this week is graduation. And so when I go camping, I'm hoping to unplug. Unfortunately, life finds a way to stress you out, right? So, we're dealing with a transition on CRMs that is going to happen here the first week of June, and it's just like, oh, could this happen at a different time?
It's never great.
And Skip's going to be out at in Orlando, and so it's just but if you
I'll be available, but
if you
I was telling everybody, I got all this going on. I'll be available, but I got to work on this tiny little laptop screen, and oh man, it's just never a good timing for most of the things that you end up doing. I mean, we try to plan ahead, and I guess one of the things I've learned is your planning is really, really important. It's going to many times determine your success or failure, but don't think just because you plan or try to plan for something, it's going to be easy. There's always going to be a series of challenges, and it is what it is.
Yeah. And
I think the summer shift though is really interesting because it changes our busyness. So you got, either yourself or coworkers, kids coming out of school. So yes, there's less demand on, some of all the running around stuff, but now we've got kids at home and some other, either daycare or activity or something. And so you got to manage all this again. So we shift from maybe a hectic, workload to a little bit shorter workload or something. Someone's got to take off, by 4 every day so they can go get the kids now or whatever. It shifts the dynamic, but you got to plan for it.
Yeah. And we try to, adapt, and it's gotten a little different since COVID, right? With so many people working from home now you got all these intruders in your office, and how do you deal with that? How do you balance that out? And what we want to do is recognize that in your MSP and know that we have a shift in culture, and how do I take advantage of that as well? Right. So not only your MSP is going through this, but your clients are going through this. And,
Yeah.
is there a way for you to help them in their home offices? Is there a way for you to help them be more fluid in their work schedules? This is an opportunity for you to talk about mobile workforce, to talk about how you can push them into a direction where when they're on vacation, if they need to check in on that really big project, like
Hmm.
I will bring my laptops with me when I'm driving to the Black Hills, and so that I can check in. And because of our setup, because we have a really great team here, I can check in and make sure everything's running smoothly. Can your clients do that? Is it easy enough for them to do that? And so you plan ahead and you make it so that your clients have this ability to work through this shift in the summer in the same way that you can. And then also making sure you're planning around that. Like schools, for instance, they are doing project work now. There's a lots of opportunities to work with schools now. If
Lots
you
of
had done your
opportunity.
work, if you done your work last year about this time or earlier, you'll have a bunch of work for schools right now. A bunch of project work, maybe
Hmm.
Chromebook deployments, Google Workspace refreshes, workshops to teach the teachers how to do different things. Those all come from grants that the schools get or from their extended budget. But they have to plan like a year in advance. And then the summer hits and all these things happen. Now the teachers are going to be completely gone. So you can replace network stacks. You can do a lot of work
Yep.
and no one's there. And so these
Yep.
change windows are really handy. And a lot of businesses do this similar things where in the summer, the offices are a lot quieter because people are either out on vacation or even their clients are out on vacation. So the economy kind of slows down a little bit from certain perspectives because of the summer. But other
Yep.
places, it's picking up. It's busy now.
Yep.
How are you helping those people who are busy and hitting their peak seasons? The hotels, the travel agencies, the bed and breakfasts. Who are your clients that this is their peak season? Summer is just a shift. It's almost like its own quarter. It's the hidden
Yeah.
fifth quarter, of the
Yep.
year.
Well, I think understanding, talking about schools and, kind of back to our reoccurring message on understanding, what's important to your client's business. Um, yeah, the schools, their projects are geared up. I mean, the gear and whatever it is they bought, that was discussed and approved a long time ago, and there's not much opportunity to get in there and try to fire up something new right now. But there is an interesting opportunity that'll be coming around shortly. So, if you don't have some big contracts with the schools, or you're just trying to do a bit more with them, now's a really good time to reach out and say, hey, I know you got projects kicking off. Just want to know that we can help out, if anything comes up, because inevitably they're going to have problems as well. And so you start now when, they're not necessarily running around with their hair on fire. Right? And they're thinking, all right, summer's starting. They got their whole work deal. They're more relaxed. And you just check in with them. You're not pushing anything. All right. But call them back in about, 30, maybe 45 days. All right. And they're looking at the deadline coming up of fall starting. And whatever project they had going on might have come off the rails.
Yeah.
And they could be scrambling. And, and in that time,